Hello and welcome back to Sigh of the Abyss. So I just had a quick look in the Steam discussions and someone luckily had the same question as I did on whether picking the hard options would lock you into a romance route, and it does not, so we're free to float around a bit before we get to the romance routes, and the game will also notify us before we log into a route, so that's quite handy. But yeah, let's see how the adventure with Silas will continue. Instead of being woken up by the usual bells, a rooster's song reaches your ears, followed by barks and loud cursing. Silas rubs the sleep away from her eyes and yelps. The lavender didn't work. Her arm is a mosaic of red bites. Ugh. They bit you through my cloak? Yep. Don't scratch them. But they're so itchy. The sickle doesn't see much activity this early in the morning. It's you and the other guests, 2 couriers. Did you have any nightmares? If I did, I don't remember them. I'm 1 second away from ripping my arm out. At least then it won't itch. We have quite the day ahead of ourselves. Will you be alright? Would you prefer to stay here? I hope you're ready for it. Won't it be too much for you? Just because of some mosquito bites? Come on. And also that will distract her, right? Will you be alright? Yeah, I'm just complaining because it works. Does it? I feel a bit less miserable, so yes. Yeah, that can work. Several people leave the village for the fields. They keep their distance, tipping their heads towards you. You stand out like a sore thumb. We're being avoided. Maybe the peasants are afraid you'll boss them around, or that you work for the patron lord. They couldn't be more wrong. You leave the village of Santana as well. The roads are well trafficked so early in the morning, and you spot several loaded wagons on their way to Carolisi. Let's find a shallow well. Shouldn't be too hard. All we need is patience and pebbles. I wonder if all the infected wells have new buckets. Do you think they too get covered in the gunk Labo found inside of that man? The peasants would not drink from something like that. I think we're onto something. What happens to the old buckets? Does he take them to the manor? Behold my collection. Perhaps he asks someone to clean them. Maybe he hides them around. How should we know? Does he take them to the manor? Perhaps he asks someone to clean them. Ew. Want to see if we can find anything around the wells? It wouldn't hurt. Thus your survey begins. Every time you approach a well, Silas lets a pebble fall into it to gauge how deep it is, and you look around the bushes and grass. This one's too deep. Found anything? I saw a hedgehog. Not what we're looking for, but okay. This one might be good. Remember the spot. 4 seconds. This one is one of the deepest. Her voice makes something move in the grass. Look over, it's probably another hedgehog. Let's look. You approach it slowly, with soft steps. A snake is coiled around wooden remains. Silas, I found something. What did you... Shit! She quickly stomps on the ground. Lady of Dawn, aid us! Don't bite me, don't bite me, don't bite us! With a hiss, the snake slithers away. That worked, or why so worked up? I mean, obviously she's scared, but... Sure, let's ask. Why so worked up? It could have been poisonous. Venomous rather, but you hold your tongue. Fair, okay, very fair. You kneel on the ground and observe the wooden fragments. The veins and creases of the planks are much darker than normal. You scrape the inside of the bucket's remains with your fingernail. It looks like the same substance that coated the innards of the young farmer dissected by Labo. Silas was right. The shallowest well is surrounded by fields that are already seeing activity, so you elect to go to the second best one. Silas drops another pebble in it. Yep, this is the one. You cannot see the bottom, and the shabby roof that covers it makes the shadows so deep they conceal the water's reflection. You thrive in darkness, you can't help but be afraid. Neither? I mean, personally, I'm not really afraid of the dark, but it's also not that I like it. I don't know, that's a weird choice that feels like it's related to the abyss. So I don't know, I just don't want to be afraid, so I'm gonna thrive. As if sensing your resolve, the shadows bubble up and expand. Is it magic time? Cover your eyes. You place your hands on the edge of the scented well and lean forward. The well is a gaping maw of shadows that tempt you, taunt you. They want you to embrace the fall, embrace them. You do not heed their call, you do not plunge into this pale imitation of the abyss. Instead, you merge with it. Silas' voice feels distant and indistinct, as if you are underwater. You are nestled into the bricks that form the edge of the well. Slowly but surely, you slither down the wall with no nose to smell the floral scent, no skin to feel the cold water. The bottom of the well is green with a carpet of leaves, among them flowers. White petals wrap themselves like a bell around a dark spike. The flowers remind you of color lilies. You have never seen any underwater. Could you manifest your arm, pluck some, and retreat into the shadows, or would the darkness spit you out? You do not know. Take the risk, try to grab some flowers, be safe, study their every detail. Choices. Would the darkness spit you out? Well, we haven't done a lot of shadow walking yet, so it is a risk, definitely. But it would probably bring us more to actually have the flower instead of just looking at it, right? I'm gonna take the risk, maybe with the option to redo my choice. Let's take a risk. You let a fraction of you out, your hand. For a moment, you think you managed. Damn. But without much experience, your mind is not able to maintain two states of matter, and the darkness spits you out into the water. It fills your lungs, sears your mouth and throat. Your eyes sting, and you thrash around, trying to find the surface. Let me breathe. The shadows come to your aid, purge the water from your lungs. Your head emerges, and you desperately kick to keep it above the water. Livera? There are flowers here. It hurts to speak. Why are you at the bottom of the well? Where else should I be? Can you get out? I need to do something first. What? You take a deep breath and dive in. Your eyes do not sting anymore, aided by shadows. You rip some flowers and slip them inside your sleeve. I'm going back. You want to merge with the shadows, and they welcome you. You travel back, slithering along the wall like a serpent. reform next to Silas, reform by the well. Okay, I'm going to assume that the water can't really do too much damage to us. Can continue. I hope that's fine. And I feel like this might scare her, but... So yeah, let's do it. Reform by the well. You reappear by the well, startling Silas. Oh. You were right, no need to call for help. She frowns. I thought the point of magic was to keep you safe. Being at the bottom of a well is anything but. I overestimated myself a little bit. I received a lesson in humility. I'm here now, what's the problem? Oh, sorry for making you worried. Yeah, sorry for making you worried. Worried? Scared? You show her the flowers. Do they look familiar? I'm not Nessa, she's the one who needs to take a look. We could have done this yesterday evening. And left for the city at night? Ah, probably not. If we're quick, we can try to hop on a wagon. Yes, please. Yeah, I mean, for anyone else, that water is probably not the greatest to get into our lungs, but I hope us as the envoy, we're fine. The morning sun soon turns scorching enough to dry your hair and clothes. A wagoner from Oriani is kind enough to let you hop on for the first leg of the journey back. You part ways at a crossroad and walk the rest. That was much faster, and my feet don't hurt as much. Silas looks at the soles of her boots. I still need new shoes. That reminds me, Egregoria's funeral is today. Didn't we tell the squirt that we'd try to attend? There is still time until dusk. You head to Nessa's apothecary shop. We're back. She sets aside the lemons she was peeling and rushes to the open window. Did you find anything? Silas takes out the overpriced water skin you purchased to keep the flower fresh. After some rummaging, she shows Nessa what was growing at the bottom of the well. How strange. Do you recognize the flower, or what is strange? Man, again, let me ask both. What is strange? This looks like an Anubia, a plant I have never seen, only heard of. It's native to the sweltering jungles of the distant south. It should not be able to grow in Karolisi. It's too cold for it. Cold? I almost had a heat stroke yesterday. I'll let you study it in peace, or do you need anything else from me? I mean, while we're here, do you need anything else from me? Since you're so kind to offer. She places the flower on her work table and unlocks the back door. Come, I'll show you something. Maybe we shouldn't have asked? I don't know. Once you're inside, she's already flipping through a hardbound tome of decrepit parchment. Look. The delicate drawing of a flower similar to the one you plucked is almost drowned by text in several languages, and some in alphabets you don't recognize. Translations of translations of translations. Study the page or ask Nessa to explain. Yeah, let her explain. Instead of a spathe, this flower has multiple petals. What's a spathe? Same. The single petal of a calla lily or an Anubia. The spike, should hold the true flowers, but is instead spongy. Is this the same plant, or did it change? She doesn't answer. What kind of apothecary are you if you can't tell? Silas, oh, don't say anything. I mean, even as an apothecary, you wouldn't know every single flower and every single mutation or whatever it is. But like, I'm not getting in between those. I'm not saying anything. Nessa ignores the accusations and pinches again the spike of the flower. Tell me everything you know. How did you find it? Where was it? You give her a detailed retelling of what happened. Nessa's eyes dart to the hard-bound tome, and she sometimes underlines a word with her finger or mumbles a passage in Anisitan. Now I can answer your question, envoy. Silas rolls her eyes at the moniker. Actually, same, like we have a name. This plant is a crossbreed, part Anubia and part something else. That's why it can survive around here, far from its ideal climate. Makes sense. Its placement feels intentional as well. Do you think you'll be able to find an antidote? It's not a poison. That makes it complicated. Not impossible, mind you. As for us, we promised Mike we would attend his father's funeral. Ladies take me, I had forgotten. And then, of course, we might want to visit Patron Lord Rizzo. I wonder if he's concerned about the tragedies happening in his lands. A direct confrontation is unlikely to go well for you, envoy. I thought we were kind of going to do that anyway, so I don't know why everyone's so surprised. You have so little faith in me. Why, I am very reasonable. It's unlikely to go well for him, you mean? That's why I want witnesses. Not a bad idea. Let's try to stay positive. Why, I am very reasonable. And unlikely to bring him to justice, not through faults of your own. No, because justice turns a blind eye to nobles like him. Tale as old as time. That's why I'm going with her. If we are to attend a Gregorius funeral, we should leave now. Okay, fun. The cemetery behind the Shrine of Dusk is a lush garden of bushes and flowers grown on corpses. A grave has already been dug next to the obelisk, a small obsidian structure carved with a prayer to the Lady of Dusk. Mike is sitting in the shade next to Marani, and her presence makes all the people present avoid the grieving child. You came. We promised we would. A lot of people are here for your palm, Mike, or how are you feeling? I mean, he's probably feeling awful, so... I feel like either of these, like both of these, are going to get us a negative reply, but... let's give it a try. A lot of people are here for your palm, Mike. They're Ma's friends. They all asked me where she is. He points at a family in the distance. Those are the neighbors, the egg thieves. Here, this will help. Nessa hands him a vial. What's that? A tonic for the nerves. Mickey is happy to gulp down the concoction. It's sweet. I put some sugar in it. Man, I think Nessa is... like, in herself she's a good one. In the case of the envoy thingy, I don't know. Little bells ring from inside the shrine. Hello? I don't know if it's still loading. It's time. Some of the neighbors file into the shrine and come back holding a stretcher. Egregoria's body is concealed from sight with a cloth. Mike, who has been remarkably collected until this moment, breaks out in sobs. Among the crowd, someone begins clapping to a rhythm, and soon everybody joins as well. One voice rises in song. When darkness falls, she guides us home. Lady of the stars above. Clad in the habit of dusk, the tall priestess wears a mourning veil of her own. She follows the stretcher, clapping as well. So heed her call, stand. The lyrics die on her lips. Her eyes are locked with yours. When her lips move, her voice is drowned by the clapping, but you recognize what she said. She called your name. Sorry, I don't know if it's my mouse or the game that's lagging a bit. Someone from the crowd grumbles, and she pushes her shock aside. So heed her call, stand proud and tall. Lady of the stars above. Sorry. The song is filled with hope. The chorus, unfamiliar to you, states that the Lady of Dusk has already embraced Egregorio and has judged him worthy of the heavens. When the man's body is lowered into the ground and the earth is shoveled on the thin shawl that conceals him, something inside you twists. You turn towards Mike, who can't bear to watch. You will do it for him then. Avoiding your gaze, the priestess walks over to the child and offers him a small pouch. Your father will rest under the shade of hundreds of flowers. In tears, Mike takes the pouch and releases the seeds inside over the shoveled soil. Once the ceremony comes to a close, Morani's presence becomes less of a deterrent, and those in attendance offer their words of condolences to Mike. From the gates of the shrine, the priestess beckons you to come closer. You sneak past the crowd towards her. Okay, just quickly saying, I think it's kind of beautiful to, plant flowers, basically. Or what is it? Yeah, well, putting seeds so that flowers will grow on the bodies. Her robes are pristine, and gold clips adorn the braids that frame her face. She is unlike any priestess you have ever seen. You're alive. She is not the first to recognize you. Someone else did once. Unlike them, however, she is not fleeing. Who are you, or why are you surprised I'm alive? Again, both good questions. Yeah, what do you know? Why are you surprised I'm alive? I attended your funeral, and your father's, not so long ago. Granted, your body was never found. I should have known something was amiss. She studies your face. You look puzzled. What happened to your eyes? You raise a hand to them. You are not the Miss Legrand I remember. That is a name you have only heard in passing, whispered with scorn, for House Legrand resides in the Citadel, and that is where it rules Carolisi. Oop. House Legrand. The coat of arms of House Legrand depicts a tower crowned by a laurel wreath. the first noble house to sell their parcel of land to fuel their mercantile ambitions, the Lagrande have tied themselves through marriage to the main sea powers of the Middle Sea. Some members have suggested changing the coat of arms to a ship, but the late patron lord always dismissed the requests as ridiculous. I am not Miss Lagrande, or who was she, Miss Lagrande? So we're not gonna even pretend. I mean, while we're here, let's find out. Who was she, Miss Lagrande? She? You mean you? I don't know who you are. You can't be serious. You definitely are. Will you look at that? You. Her words trail off. She looks at Louis like she expects a rebuttal. When it doesn't come, she massages her temples. I have no memories of my past. You did not exist before being summoned into this world and taking over Livera Lagrande's body. This, of course, the priestess doesn't know. Call me Livera. Miss Lagrande would have never passed the opportunity to flaunt her house. You are not jesting. Friends in high places get recognized by Sister Aleste, okay? In that case, call me Aleste. Just Aleste. I lost the right to use my house name after I left it. Silas walks closer to you with a grimace. The squire just signed the house and animals back to the patron lord. What? With his pa dead and his ma missing, the patron lord is getting his property back. Aleste places her hand on your arm. Find me at the Temple of Dusk. She blesses you both before retiring inside the shrine. Ah, do you know her? I used to, or no, this is the first time I've ever seen her. I mean, both of these are true. Again, it's not like we've lied to Silas about us, right? I used to. Yeah, used to is kind of weird in that sense. So, us as we are now? No, this is the first time I've ever seen her. She was very forward then. Livera, is everything all right? The right back is silent and cramped. Mickey, exhausted after all that crying, falls asleep. As for you, you think back on the funeral, you think back on Aleste. I mean, there's gotta be more. You cannot just throw in a character with a name and a sprite and there's nothing more there. I'm gonna think back on Aleste. She was so quick to accept you had lost your memories. Is your behavior so different from the original Livera? Apparently. You dismount the carriage by the city gates. What are you going to do now? Mickey and I will go back with Nessa. Her eyes burn with curiosity. She will tell me about what you have accomplished. As for you, if you truly intend to go back to Santana tomorrow, I believe you should rest. And rest you will. Yeah, sounds sensible. Someone knocks on your door, rousing you from your slumber. You awake? Your room is still plunged in darkness. Nessa arranged for a carriage at dawn. You sit up in bed. Give me a minute. Silla's stomach grumbles on the way to the gates. The windows of the bakeries you pass give off light, but the businesses are closed. Okay, no comment on why Silla's, like how she even got in that place. I thought this wasn't I thought she wasn't supposed to, but I don't know, maybe that was just my assumption. The carriage ride is much quicker than a journey on foot. You reach Santana as the sun tinges the sky in orange and pink hues. After a modest breakfast in the inn, you are ready to visit the Lord's Manor. Okay, here we go. I'm a little scared. House Rizzo's villa is the only walled building in Santana. Marble reliefs are of a burning branch, the crest of the house, flank both sides of the gate. The people in the courtyard are either gathered around some caged hens or amiably chatting with the lone guard. I'm not sure you want to take a frontal approach, if you know what I mean. Head inside the courtyard, there must be another entrance, or shouldn't we come up with a cover? A cover? What kind of cover? I have no idea, honestly. But also, why not? Why should we not go through the front door? So with the courtyard, wait. People in the courtyard, so... If we go into the courtyard, can we talk to the other people and get a feeling for how things are around here? Well... Well, I mean, it's the only way to maybe stall for some time. Shouldn't we come up with a cover? Like a false identity? She thinks for a moment. Well, why come up with one when we can draw from what we know? You're Olivera of House Castledon, last living heir, grieving your mother, and... Huh. You found something that is of great interest to patron Lord Rizzo in your Mars papers. There, what do you think? Masterfully done. I am not sure Anelia would approve. It's better than nothing. Yeah, I'm not sure Anelia would approve, like at least with a name, but I guess maybe we have to throw around a name. But yeah, I don't know if it's really a good one. It's not a bad plan, but I'm not sure Anelia would approve. Offer her a dinner at the Rose and she will forgive you. Head inside the courtyard, or there must be another entrance. Okay. Then let's head inside the courtyard. Silas grimaces but doesn't protest when you enter the courtyard. The guard tips his head towards the peasants and comes running towards you.
Miss, I hope you're having a fine morning. The patron lord didn't inform me he had guests coming.
Where is he now? I come from House Castledon with important news, or he must have been busy. Huh. Can we poke around a little? Or, I guess it's just... Okay, he forgot to announce us. Man. Again, I'm mostly kind of hesitant to use my powers a lot when we have some other options. So should we go in with the lie? I don't know, let's try with I come from House Castledon with important news.
What sort of news?
The kind for the patron lord's ears only. She isn't telling me a thing either. Time to play along. I don't pay you to tell you things. Silas makes a disgruntled face to the guard, who seems to believe your farce.
Might take a while for him to attend to you. Wait in the main hall.
Will do, thank you. He bows his head, then walks back to the peasants, who tease him with laughter on his return. The main hall is shady and cool. There are no flowers to be seen, yet a floral scent permeates the place. What do you say? Follow our noses. The scent is stronger by the gates on the opposite side of the hall, latched shut. A servant emerges from a side room and gasps. Miss, are you here for an audience with the patron lord? She gestures towards the chairs on the side. Take a seat, he will be with you shortly. You do so, and when she leaves, give me 1 minute and I'll open those gates for you without a sound. Silas takes out a long tool from her vest and begins working on the latch. The gates crack open after a minute of her miracle work. Hurry! Wait, what is our plan here? Flower of Evil, enter Lord Rizzo's flooded gardens. Wait, I thought we're here to confront him, not to look around everywhere. I'm a bit confused. But okay. And would we have seen this if we had tried to use a side entrance? I'm also wondering, like, so far we haven't exactly heard good things about the Lord himself, I guess. But at least the people outside seem to have a good time, like not, you know, staying away from the mansion or, yeah, no pitchforks and torches, like asking for things. You know what I mean? Like the vibe was good. So I have no idea what to expect. And definitely didn't expect this. The gardens must have been beautiful once. All that's left is a pool of murky water that reflects the sky. Makeshift walls have been erected to keep the water from spilling out. My boons aren't tall enough, are they? The water reaches your mid-calf. Can I stay on the steps until you need me? Sure. You begin walking. There are plants underwater. You notice when you step on one. Your hand dives into the murkiness. Your fingers close around a stem. You rip out a familiar flower. Of course. The gates open. The noble that stops on the doorstep wears high, mud-caked boots.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Do not raise your voice, or so it's true. You are the one responsible for all those deaths. When we talked about confronting him, we meant like that? Like immediately? I don't know. I don't like that. And I guess we don't want the guards to come here. So, do not raise your voice. Power ripples from you. He falls silent, beguiled as he is, docile. You gesture at the gardens. Explain this to me. He does not speak. You know that your powers have limits. You cannot force someone to harm themselves. Obey me, or when the cleaver fails, it's time for the scalpel. What does it mean in this context? And I cannot choose this one. My powers are not great enough. I don't have enough points in the mind control thingy. When the cleaver fails, it's time for the scalpel. Is it Silas? Are we asking her to come in? You cannot shatter his free will, not when he believes talking is a matter of life and death. What you can do is manipulate him into seeing your solution as reasonable. Okay, that sounds better. Do you think that replacing the buckets in the wells is enough? They can still be found. I could easily pluck the flowers here and compare them with those that have tainted the water sources. An herbalist looked at your twisted leave-me-not. The intention in its design was apparent to her. A surgeon found traces of your doings on the corpse of one of your people. His insides were caked with the substance that dissolves in water, yet coats everything else. We've got you all figured out. With the overwhelming evidence you have collected against him, following you becomes the path of least resistance. Patron Lord Rizzo bows his head ever so slightly, still silent, still refusing to elaborate. I hope you'll rot in the hells, old man.
I have showered the Lady of Dusk in gold. Once I'm at her pearly gates, she will let me pass.
In a world in which the only punishment he'll ever face awaits him in the hells, Patron Lord Rizzo has bought access to the heavens. Yeah, same Silas. But there are no hells nor heavens, no divine retribution, only the abyss. He's due some consequences, and he must suffer them in the material world. Follow me to the village. You will tell everyone what you did and what it means for them. Okay, can we not? I thought we'd get some explanation. Silas cups her hands around her mouth.
Hear ye, hear ye!
Some doors open.
Patron Lord Rizzo is in town!
A couple of people walk out of the inn with their tankards in hand.
Make some noise for the Patron Lord of Santana!
Make some noise? What is this? A festival?
Enough people open their windows and doors to see their liege in his caked boots.
It's your turn now.
He clears his throat.
Oh, my dearest, I bear terrible news. The two envoys from the city just confirm my fears. A poison has been growing in your wells.
Silas looks ready to murder him.
The recent losses Santana has experienced can be traced back to this poison. Once you drink it, it becomes as needed as air.
Murmurs come from the people gathered around.
Those that left for the city could not consume the cursed water. Thus the odious poison killed them from the inside.
My exalted lord, what now? What of us?
My attempts to make an antidote have not been successful, but these envoys here, they speak for an apothecary that has taken pity on us all.
His lies are a necessary evil, or you are seething with rage. How dare he? I mean, honestly, that's also a bit on us, in dragging me here and expecting him to not lie at all. A necessary evil. In a sense? I mean, again, we still don't have an explanation what exactly, like, did he do it on purpose? Really? What's behind it? But okay, if the only thing he said is like, okay, I bought my way into heaven, that does paint him as completely guilty, of course. Does it help getting angry now? He's taking pity on us all. Like, I wouldn't think the first one is like sympathizing with him, but man, I don't know. He should be made responsible if he is responsible. Like, he should be, like, we should really uncover it, so let's try to rage.
Don't make that face!
Silas whispers to you. Really? I thought Silas would be for that. For being angry.
If they knew the truth, they'd lynch him.
that was not the goal? Okay.
We need him alive, so Nessa can know exactly how he made those abominations.
Okay, fair. What an actor he is. He assuages their fears and even suggests for them to progressively drink less from the poisoned wells and drink more from those that are safe. Once you're back in the villa, he turns his malevolent eyes on you.
You might have saved face here and now, but your judgment will come.
May the Lady of Dusk stalk your nights with her pale laughter.
Okay. I don't know, that was kind of unsatisfying. So, yeah. I hope we can get still some... like that we will see him get his judgment. Ever since you escorted Patron Lord Rizzo to Nessa's apothecary shop, she has been consulting him and several ancient tomes. I can't believe you managed to cultivate an aberrant trait with such success. Yes. The Lord is not as talkative as he was back in Santana, but he is collaborating. That's something. The antidote will take me some nights, but knowing how this flower was created will help immensely. Can the peasants wait some nights? Can't you be quicker? You cannot rush the working of the herbs. Keep in mind I also have Mikay to take care of among my other duties. I am dismissed, I take it. Nessa looks at you. My lord, I could kill you right here and now. Not until the antidote is ready, or yes, Nessa will write to you if she needs your expertise. Oh, well. These are all not great. Should we threaten him? Nessa looks at you. So if she doesn't necessarily need him yet, then I guess. He's not gonna like flee somewhere, is he? So I guess yes, Nessa will write to you if she needs your expertise. Most excellent. Now, if you'll excuse me. We know what you're going to do, Nessa, but what about us? What about you? You did your job. You saved them. Not yet. It is paramount that the people stop drinking the poisoned water, slowly, over a period of time. The wells need to be purged of the flowers. But that is not your job. Leave the antidote in my hands and place your faith in the brave people that survived the poison. Before we go, may I have a moment? Of course. They will all die, your apprentice said to me, praised like the donkey is for their work, not their being. She was the one who provided him with the Anubia flower. What? Something inside you wrenches, a part of you that is not you, filled with shame. Nessa's shoulders deflate. She looks almost small. I had my suspicions. Her eyes start to silas. She always claimed she had changed, that she had healed, but some scars are more than skin deep. It's with those puzzling words that she leaves you. Yeah, that was not very insightful. This is so unsatisfying, I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, at least we know who's responsible for that well poisoning. We know that the people were told about it. At least what they need to know, apparently. I just hope we can really... yeah, that there are going to be some consequences for the dude. There aren't many people in the Temple of Dawn at dusk. The soup kitchen is closed, and those left are singing a prayer to bless the next day. Brother Mattia is among them. You catch his attention, and he's quick to excuse himself.
Livera, Silas, it's been some time.
We bring good news, brother. The wells in the lands of Rizzo are the source of the poison that kills everyone that leaves. The patron lord was behind it. Luckily, he agreed to help the creation of an antidote. Brother Mattia says something, but his words are lost in darkness. You are nothing, yet everything. You have saved them from the patron lord's folly, spared them from his fury. May their lives be unbridled. In front of you lies the remnant of a soul, ashamed but not afraid, a willing offering for you, for your hunger. It wants to be consumed by you, now that it is left with no ties to the mortal world. And you devour it. The Abyss has given you a new gift. What will you do with it? Huh. Okay, again, that thing with the apprentice, I don't know. I feel like either that has been some time ago, or we kind of skipped it, or I don't know what was going on there. It's a bit confusing. But either way, a willing soul, some new powers. We haven't used our powers much. And still, it was too weak in some moments. Like, I am very tempted to just keep making it balanced, but... I mean, we have no way to know what's going, what adventures await us, what powers we might need. So far, enthralling the mind would have been most useful, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be the same later on. So... maybe shadow magic. Let's go with that. Alright, Livera? Yes? Do you feel unwell? You have never felt better. I'm fine. You were saying? Brother Mattia studies your face for a moment. It's infuriating that Lord Rizzo will not face any consequences for his actions. Indeed. You share all that happened with Brother Mattia to assuage his fears. Blessed be the day you stepped into this temple. You have done much for the people of Santana and the city. Didn't you want to go to Ligustica some time ago to deal with the siren? I'll look into it tomorrow. Okay, so one quest done? Huh. After such a momentous day, the quiet of the refrain is all you crave. Another letter with a blue wax seal rests under your door. As soon as you touch it, dazzling blue smoke clouds your vision. Livera. Her hands find yours with ease. You are back. You are a balm for my weary soul, or don't say anything. I mean... not saying anything would be rude, right? That's actually the first hard choice we have with her, so... why not? You are a balm for my weary soul. Truly. She smiles warmly, How rare and wonderful it is to see her eyes fill with tenderness. Tell me, what happened in Santana? You tell her all that happened. How odious for that wicked man to go unpunished. Could you not share his heinous actions with the city guard to have him brought to justice? Given the story he publicly spun, it'd be my word against his, and I do not have a title or his riches. I mean, we found out we kind of have one, or this body had one. Not anymore. Yeah, there. Do you think he will dare harm his people again? Not if he values his life. Well, I can't say I disagree with the sentiment. Her words trail off. What's wrong? Justice, as depicted outside of the courtrooms, is blind, with a scale in one hand and a sword in the other, yet it seems to me she is anything but. How can I insist he be brought to justice if he will look at her brazenly and be declared innocent on account of his lineage? Morane wants to know every little detail and asks you more questions. You made me feel as if I were there with you. Thank you. Don't thank me for causing you distress. A small smile curls her lips. I thank you for unveiling once again how callous and hypocritical I am. That's harsh, don't you think? Yet true. I wanted you to share with me wonderful news so that we could celebrate with a most exquisite treat. What would you call me if not callous? How could I expect wonderful news from such a loathsome situation? Her abyss boils with disdain, thick and glossy like treacle. A celebration would be in poor taste, I agree, but truth be told, I could use a distraction. You are far too kind to me. She walks over to a column and pulls, seemingly out of nothing, a golden tray and some cups. Behold the dried leaves that the people of Gangara brew in their traditional drink. It took me considerable effort to procure them, and quite some coin, which I now regret wasting. Gangara, a note addressed to the halls. I have recently acquired a copy of the Journal of Slugs, praised be the Everburning's name. Greatest follower, a madman who travelled for 30 years and reached Gangara. That was the land you were interested in, yes? I doubt the manuscript would engage the provincial tastes of Carolisians, but I could be convinced to translate the relevant chapters. I look forward to your efforts. Always yours, Yeda. Okay. Don't call it a waste, rather an eye-opening investment. That's a way to put it. She snickers. The dried leaves carry a pleasant scent, rich and robust. The drink is best enjoyed warm, like a tisane. Whatever enthusiasm she held for the leaves has been shattered by her disgust. It seems she needs a distraction just as much as you do. Does the drink have a name? She places a strainer over the cups and fills it with a handful of dried leaves. Yes, it's called cha in Gangari. So tea. Scalding water pours from her outstretched hand. You breathe in the aroma, dark and smoky. Gangara is such a faraway land that I only know its name. Is that the same thing? Yep. In truth, on the distant horizon of her magical quarters, the flames that lick at the sky erupt in a wave of heat. I only know a little of Gangara myself. She dismisses the distant flames with a glare, and they slither back to the horizon. This drink must have been enjoyed by my parents and their parents, and so on, for generations. Her eyes fall on the pouch of fragrant dried leaves. I wonder how they used to prepare it. Without magic, I reckon. Hers is a whisper. I have always wanted to ask about your heritage or take a sip. Let's be curious. I have always wanted to ask about your heritage. I was born here, I think. I don't remember anything about my parents, anything at all. My first memories are in the halls. You could never tell from the way I speak and act that I am anything but Carolician. From the way she speaks and acts, yes, but not from the way she dresses. Isn't your dress from Gangara? I wish it was. It was made by the hall seamster at my request to look like a Gangari dress. She based it off a painting. It's nice that she has the option at least. You cherish your time with Mirani and enjoy the treasure she decided to share with you. Once you're back in your room, you notice you have trouble sleeping. Might it be because of the cha? Maybe. You wake up, as usual, just as the sun's first rays pierce through the darkness. What's better than a hot bath to start the day? Disagree, a hot bath is better in the evening, but you do you, girl. Fried chickpeas crunch in Scylla's mouth when she approaches the gates of the refrain, and she isn't alone. Good morning. It's rare to see you two talk of your own accord. I was asking her how the squirt was doing. The squirt has a name. Nessa wanted to let him grieve, but he's eager to learn, to distract himself, no doubt. That's good to hear. Silas filled me in on what I had missed from your account of the matters. No point in dwelling on it. What's done is done. Wait. But we... whatever. On to the next problem. Rivera, why don't you tell the miss about the siren? A siren? You remind her of Scylla's strange nightmares. This creature, this siren, encroaches upon dreams to turn them into nightmares, and they spread like an infection. I spoke to one of the sailors afflicted. He told me the nightmare started after he came back from Ligustica. So the siren's gotta be along that route, right? That's where the Dockmaster's map comes in. Also, since it's a sea monster, it lives where nobody can reach it. Except for people like you, miss. Mirani arches an eyebrow. You're the only one who can truly see if the creature is there. Interesting. Will you help us? You'll do it, right? I didn't want to volunteer you for it, but I think you're the only one who can do it. I don't like you'll do it right, but the other ones are all fair, I think. Will you help us? The road to Ligustica is outside the city. Without the hall's permission, I would not be able to use my magic there unpunished. Why do you think I want to go to the Dockmaster? If he asks for help, and you saw the state of that Thayan ship, this is dangerous for the whole city. The halls are going to say yes. We are getting ahead of ourselves. I agree. Let's meet the Dockmaster first and see how willing he is to listen to us. Okay. The briny odor of algae and fish guts becomes a foul breeze that makes your nose wrinkle. Why did I forget the perfumed scarves? This is worse than last time. Makes sense, we're closer to the fish farms. In the distance, scaffolding divides the shore into a mosaic of ponds filled with fish kept fresh for the slaughter. Interesting, there's even some water animations here. Fun. So, where's the Dockmaster? Why not enjoy a stroll? Well, in that smell. Take me to the dockmaster, please. What now? Let's get to business. So, where's the dockmaster? He's around, but I wouldn't know where exactly. Are the fish ponds under his jurisdiction? I think so. I don't come here often. How come? The people here are hard-working folk, and I tend to leave those be. How noble of you. Silas rolls her eyes. I'm surprised you seem to hold the dockmaster in some sort of regard, given your usual attitude about people of a certain stature. That's because you used to be a sailor before becoming the dockmaster, and you can see it. He's a real person underneath all the rules. Fair. Encourage Silas to tell you more, let Morani speak, nip the impending argument in the bud. I like those two arguing, to a degree. I'm more with Silas on this one, so let's encourage her. It sounds like you know him personally. Kinda? I was, taking some freebies here and there while working at the harbour. He saw me, and instead of being angry, he told me that if I needed money, I could take better jobs. Bodyguarding Thayans, testing how secure the locks are and whatnot. A gripping tale of petty crime. I'm surprised you're still alive sometimes. I'm not. Silas mumbles something under her breath and drops the topic. Let's look around, shall we? The sand crunches happily under your feet when you walk on the shore. From the scaffolding, the fish harvesters regard you with curious looks. Silas, can you describe the dockmaster for us? Huh. Tall, has a tattoo on his arm. Keeps his beard short. He doesn't fit in his nice jacket anymore, so he lets it flap around like a mantle. Why don't we ask around as well? Someone must know where he's hiding. Hiding? The poor man's probably working. He can give us a minute of his time, busy or not. Morani rolls her eyes. Anglers and sailors busy themselves around the fish ponds. You spot two mariners taking a break in a shaded corner, caught in an animated conversation. A few feet behind them, a rowboat is being repaired and has attracted a small group of bystanders. Another group of people is chatting amicably while fixing the nets strewn over the sandy shore. Talk with the sailors taking a break, talk with the group repairing the boat, talk with the dock workers repairing nets. All fair, but I think we should maybe ask the people not busy. So let's ask the sailors. You approach the two people sitting on the ground, a bulky man and a woman with a scar on her forehead. They looked at Morani, then at each other.
I didn't do anything wrong, did I?
A grin slowly appears on Morani's face. I don't know. Did you? Silas elbows her. Do you know where the dockmaster is?
I haven't seen him around.
He turns towards the woman and wordlessly signs something. After a moment of thought, she signs something back and points towards the city.
My friend saw him go towards the warehouses.
Thank you. We will be on our way. The warehouses sounds exceedingly vague. They're the biggest part of the harbour. He's a well-known figure. We'll find him. It might take a while, but yes. The warehouses are squat buildings with chipped facades covered in inscriptions, some in chalk, some in tar. City guards patrol the narrow streets. When they see you, they stop in their tracks to whisper something to each other. Approach them, Silas want to ask them, Morani want to do the honors. Do we want to do it? I don't think we want to send Silas, just in case they're a bit iffy. So, let's just do it ourselves, I guess.
Strange group you got there.
We heard that one before, didn't we? The guard is not wrong.
Need something?
We need to talk with the dockmaster. He's in this district, this much we know, but where exactly?
We just took 2 Illyrians to his chancery. He should still be there.
I know where that is. You bob a curtsy to the guards and thank them. This always makes it out like the guards will give us trouble, but so far there hasn't been anything. Maybe we'll just make good choices, but... The Chancery is just one building among many, bleached by the sun and ravaged by inscriptions in several languages you don't recognize. Why didn't you bring us here in the first place? Because he's usually on a boat or at the docks, not in there. From the other side of the door, the occasional raised voice can be heard. Silas knocks vigorously. Sir, this is an emergency. A voice rises above the others in a foreign tongue. A moment later, the door opens of its own accord, and a bearded man limps out, followed by another with a red face and frown lines carved between his eyebrows. Illyrians, huh? What was their problem? Illyria, the birthplace of poetry and song of the Middle Sea, ruled by the Titans atop the tallest peak, always shrouded by clouds. Its flag depicts the profile of the first Titan enshrined in a laurel wreath. Much of the rich traditions people associate with Aniceta are Illyrian in origin. The plays written for their masked theatre are considered unmatched to this day.
They are fools letting marital problems sour business, and that's their problem. Come in.
You step into the sea of logs and nautical charts that is the Chancery. The dockmaster is a portly man with a friendly face, however he appears defeated, his mood soured by the squabbling Illyrians. Then you see his shadow. It dances madly, thrashing like kelp in the current. It's trying to rip itself from him.
Wait, Silas, it's you, and you're not alone.
He looks at Morane in alarm, who graces him with a polite smile, then at you. Faced with status, he straightens his posture to introduce himself.
Name's Bastian. Bastian? Bastian? It's a pleasure to meet you.
These are Miss Morane and Miss Livera. Let's cut to the chase, shall we? I wasn't jesting when I said we had an emergency. His shadow is straining itself, trying to touch yours despite its frenzied dance. Allow it or don't. I feel like we should allow it just to learn something, because so far the shadows I've just been asking for help, basically, and from what Silas told us, I would assume he's a good guy and he could use, we should help him, so I'll allow it. You take a step forward, and it's enough for his shadow to spill into yours. Shattered wings, a crown of teeth. Tendrils that end in talons. Won't you answer my pleas? A throne of salt-encrusted bones. You rip your shadow away from his. Cold sweat drips from your forehead. There's too much water in you, too much. You need to get it out. Livera? Bastian's face is a mask of terror. His nails scrape crescents on his arm, marks of the deep, a sign that his soul, too, has been touched by whatever lurks in the sea.
What was that?
His nails draw blood. It was the siren. The one that prowls the seabed and fills your people with nightmares.
Prime Almighty watch over us all. Does that mean you're here to help?
He glances at Mirane, but you are the one to answer him with a determined nod.
Lock the door, or we'll keep being interrupted.
Silas does as asked. His desk is littered with nautical charts, logbooks, and stray rolls of parchment. Tell us what you know.
I didn't care much for the rumors at the beginning. Seeing a siren is every mariner's dream, after all. That was until the dreams became nightmares. There's something wrong with those afflicted, and with me.
His frenzied shadow can't stay still. Someone bangs on the door, startling you. Bastian rolls his eyes and ignores the distraction. Why did you keep things quiet?
I made the mistake of informing the Citadel of the situation. They claim that with the Solstice Festival so close, we can't afford to scare off merchants with rumors of a siren. The Solstice Festival, a celebration of the first summer harvest, this 5-day-long festival is sponsored by the Temple of the Prime. The city adorns itself with drapes to please the lady, dances are held in every square, and minstrels freely perform on the streets. Noble houses are established or reinstated only once per year during the festival, and it's customary for fresh houses to host banquets in the streets for the populace. We might have read this before, I don't quite remember. Those nobles really only think with their own coin pouches. Until one of their vessels is attacked, only then, I fear, they'll allow me to act. I haven't been idle, of course. I've been telling all departing vessels to take a longer route because of unpredictable weather.
What about the ships inbound for Carolisi?
With no way to contact the ships on water, all I can do for them is pray. How do you know of the siren?
Silas has been having the same nightmares as the mariners, or a desperate sailor contacted the Lady of Dreams through me. Or both. I guess it makes sense to say it's Silas.
But you've never been on a ship, have you, Silas?
I refuse to step on them in case one leaves without notice, and I'm stuck on it for a fortnight.
How many have been affected thus far? I've talked with dozens of people, some worse than others. Spending time away from the sea seems to help.
Bastian's shadow waits for your eyes to focus on it, then stretches to touch Silas. Her own shadow quivers and begins animating too.
Of course, the islanders can't do that.
He scratches the scars on his arm.
And neither can I. Miss Mirane, if you're here, does that mean the halls themselves are taking an interest in our predicament?
Livera is, thus so am I. You can see from his face that he has opinions about Mirane's forcefulness, but is polite enough to keep them to himself.
Okay.
We know the siren is somewhere on the route to Legostica.
Close enough.
Bastian takes out a map from the case on his hip and unrolls it on his desk. A web of lines, some red and some green, almost conceals the metal sea from you. From distant Warid in the east to Lusitania in the west, the entire basin is depicted. Coastal settlements and cities are marked with names so small you'd have to squint to read them. Lusitania. At the edge of his great kingdom, the Middle Sea turns into the unfathomable ocean. What lies beyond is unknown. Lusitania's flag depicts shields and castles arranged under a crown. His finger ends up a smidgen above the Isle of Fiorella.
This is where the Thayan vessel that sank some days ago was attacked. It's also close to where the road to Legostica diverges from the others. The siren moves, but never too far from here.
How certain are you, or this is immensely helpful? He does sound pretty certain, so yeah. This is very helpful.
I wish I could do something more about it, but I don't want to send my people to their deaths.
If the Dockmaster were to ask for my services,
he would do so against the express wishes of the Citadel.
You're about to say something when he raises his gaze and steels himself.
I don't need any convincing. I know what's right, and it's not what the Citadel wants. However, the Hall's vessel doesn't sail in times of peace.
We can involve the Halls without them using their ship. Can we? How? We could use Savani's ship instead. He does owe me a favor. Bastion perks up at the suggestion.
That would be wonderful. It would shield me from the ire of the Citadel, at least for a while.
He looks at all of you and nods.
I will request the assistance of the Halls.
Fortune favors you, Dockmaster. You stand in the presence of the third of the Council. Mouth agape, Bastion suddenly straightens his posture.
Oh my, I wish I had known before.
I do not have the power to call for an extraordinary assembly on my own. Fret not. With your help, I am certain I could bring more members to our cause. I'm thinking of a letter. A shout outside is quickly followed by more banging on the door.
Silas, do me a favor and tell the people outside to come back later.
For one iron piece, I'll do it. Bastion clicks his tongue and flicks a coin in her direction. Silas catches it, checks it against the light, and nods. Consider it done. You help Bastion and Mirane write the letter while Silas keeps the piece outside. Once Mirane is satisfied with it, Bastion seals it in wax with his signet ring and hands it to her. I pray our extraordinary assembly can take place tomorrow.
And I will pray for your success, Miss Mirane.
Okay. Making some decent progress, looks like. You escort Mirane back to the halls. I'm surprised the Dockmaster didn't question your involvement, Livera. He must be desperate, or my involvement and my rather nebulous identity. But yeah, he must be desperate. Desperate enough not to question where the help is coming from, yes. There they are, the halls, shimmering like a jewel among the sun-baked bricks. Do you think the halls will really agree to help? The only way to reach the siren is with magic. That of the Aether, of course, and the mastery over the elements it grants. That's not an answer. It's the best one I can give you at the moment. Mirane approaches the watery gates of her home with purpose, but stops in her tracks to address you. How I wish you could come with me, my friend. You can't, and that only makes her yearn for you more. Farewell. She leaves you with one last glance. Oh. What now? The afternoon sun scorches all its raised touch and makes the glittering waves of the hall square almost too bright for comfort. Spend time with Silas or look for Alphion? Well, it is kind of rude to leave Silas by herself, but I'm probably going to try to spend some time with Alphion, because again, I did come to like him. However, I'm not going to do that today. We're going to leave it here, but yeah, we have made some progress. We seem to have solved the death by blood thingy. Hoping the antidote will actually work, and it surprised me a bit that they said, okay, just drinking from the well less over time should make things better. Really, really weird, but okay. We uncovered it at least, and people know now. and on to the next adventure. But yeah, that's it from me for today. As always, I'd appreciate if you'd let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.